Hi there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. I'm a UK-based independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Sorry, I seem to be a bit tongue-tied today, so apologies. As I film this, I'm about to go on holiday, and I'm doing a mad panic, trying to get everything done that I need to get done before I go away. I've got product shares to do, I've got all my blog posts and videos to do for while I'm away, and I've got an exhibition coming up at the end of the month, so just a little bit to do, so apologies if I'm tongue-tied. This is the card that my wonderful purchasers from August will be getting. Hopefully by the time you see this will have got. So this is the card. I will be hopefully showing you the gift that I gave them as well. That will be a separate video, but this is the card. This uses the, now I want to say it's Brightly Gleaming Designer Series paper. So she can't find the name. It is Brightly Gleaming. So it's in the Autumn Winter catalogue. It's beautiful, and most of it is not automatically Christmas, but it's got the lovely rich colours. So it's Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, Pretty Peacock. It's on a vanilla base, and it's got copper foil. Can you see that? Oh, isn't that just stunning? It's gorgeous. Anyway, I thought I would show you how I made it. Some of it may be a little surprising, may not, but yeah. So we're starting with obviously a piece of the specialty paper, which is gorgeous. The measurements will be on my website, and there's a link to that below. So I've got, this is on a Pretty Peacock background, so I'm doing slightly different colours depending on which pattern I'm using. But because this is Pretty Peacock, I've gone for Night of Navy and Mossy Meadow. I'm using Mossy Meadow at the base of all of my little stacks. And I've got a piece of Very Vanilla, which I have embossed with the embossing folder that comes from the Monster Bash suite. Let me find out what it is called. Always a plan. Stylish Scroll, and it's a standard embossing folder. It's not a 3D one, it's the standard embossing folder, but I thought it went really well with these swirls, which is why I've used that. So that's just a vanilla base. Then I've got a Pretty Peacock card base. This is just a half a sheet, scored, and that will be my card base. So let me pop everything together. So I'm going to use liquid adhesive for all of my gluing needs, apart from where I use dimensionals. So there is a tiny, 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 weeny, tweeny little border round the edge of each of these mats. So you just need to pop them down, and as I say, just allow the tiniest little edge. This is where the liquid adhesive is great, because it means you've got a little bit of wiggle room. There we go. Okay, so I say I'm using it for all my adhesion needs, apart from dimensionals, and apart from where I'm using tear and tape, because I want a couple of short pieces of tear and tape, because I've got a piece of the reversible Pretty Peacock and Old Olive ribbon from the annual catalogue. Now, the Old Olive is very, very similar to Mossy Meadow, so I'm using Pretty Peacock on some of the bases and Old Olive on some of the others, depending on the colour of the background piece of card. So this one I'm going to do in Old Olive. So I'm just going to pop a little piece of tear and tape on each side of my base, or largest mat, I suppose. Just make sure that's pushed down really hard, because it does make a difference. Otherwise you can find that the tear and tape wants to lift off, and obviously we don't want that. Now, using my grid paper, I can line up my ribbon and then line up my mat so that I know that the ribbon will be straight. So if I pop one end in, then I can make sure that this end is the same distance away from the base. and I'm going about an inch. It's not that vital, but it's that sort of amount. Okay, so I have die cut from Well Written, thanks, and this I'm going to stick onto the ribbon with some Tombow. Now you do need to then leave this to dry for a little, and I find popping an acrylic block on top does help make sure that it does adhere properly. So just add some tiny little dots of Tombow, then pop that down, and I've got it lined up so that the base of the word is lined up with the bottom, and then press that down and then come in with an acrylic block and just squish that down. And in true Blue Peter fashion, here's one I prepared earlier. So this is stuck down to the ribbon. It's not actually stuck to the card, but that's fine. So long as it's stuck to the ribbon, that's all we need to worry about. Okay, so let me, I don't know why I put my Tombow away. Let me bring in my card base and just make sure that that's even at the bottom and burnish. And then I've got my scrolls, which I can add some liquid adhesive. The joy of the multi-purpose liquid adhesive on an embossed piece is that if you kind of scribble all over the back, some of it will definitely hit the flat areas, which are actually the areas that are going to attach to your base. So those are quite important. Right, okay, so turn over this, grab some dimensionals, and I am using a reasonable number because this is going in the post, although it's going in a parcel in the post, because what I always do is send the card without a note in it. I send a little note with my thank you parcels, but I don't write in the card because that means that it's another bit of the gift, so the person who receives it can then use it as a thank you card for themselves, so they can send it out to somebody else if they want. They may not want. Okay, so the only other thing I need to do is pop a liner inside. Now, normally I don't put a liner in until I'm ready to send, because I will write the message and then adhere the liner, but obviously this is going as a complete card, so I will pop that in the middle. And that's that. Now, I've only finished one of the others so far. I've got a few more to do, but they're currently all being squished under books and blocks and goodness knows what. But this is one of the other patterns that I've used. I wonder how that one's coming on. And this is now reasonably squished. So that's one of the other patterns that I've used. But I really love this paper, particularly as it isn't automatically Christmas. You can obviously dress it up that way, but you don't have to. So I hope you enjoyed that. Those of you who shop with me in August hopefully will have received your card already and your other goodies. Thank you very much indeed for watching. If you would like any of the products, they are listed below. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you wish to subscribe, there's a subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner. If you want to see close-ups of all of the designs that I've used, I've only used 3 of the designs out of the paper because I used all the other papers for something else. So this is just 3 of the designs that I had left. And I've had to order more paper, which is fine. I love getting more paper. It's great. Anyway, thank you very much indeed. As I say, give it a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, hit the subscribe button. If you want to see close-ups, you can go over to my website, which is linked below in the description bar. Any questions or comments, please just leave a comment below and I will get back to you at some point. When you see this, I'm either about to go on holiday or am on holiday, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Bye!